Good afternoon, fellow Americans. Today I'm going to discuss about what's affecting our country today in regards to letting people come through our airport system in the manner in which it is right now. As most of you know, Trump signed an executive order on immigration that bars citizens of seven Muslim majority countries from entering the United States for the next 90 days and suspends the admission of all refugees for 120 days. Now, these countries are Iran, Iraq, Syria, Sudan, Libya, Yemen, Somalia. I want to discuss not only did President Obama know this was a direct threat to the United States, he gave the list to Donald Trump. We've known this is a threat for a long time, and Donald Trump took action, and it is the right thing to do. The deal is, we look at our society and we think that every other society is built similar to ours. And the fact of the matter is, they don't have a system even close to ours. They don't know who's good. They don't know who's bad. They don't know who they have, and that's the problem. And I look at these demonstrators, and I can't help but think, unfortunately, yeah, that they're Americans, but you know, take a few minutes and research what's going on before you judge. Why are we making these decisions? Why is the government saying, "Hey, let's stop this"? And I'm going to go into a little bit about that. uh, the fact that I'm gonna start off with the media. The fact that the media shows the hundreds of demonstrators at airports in the White House. You know what you're not going to see in the media. Why don't they talk about the terrorist attacks that occurred? Let's just say in the last year. You're not going to see that. They're not going to put those numbers out there. They're just going to look like that Americans are trying to impede innocent people, and it's simply not the case. And again, if you're not smart enough to look up this information for yourself, just take a few minutes. Just take a few minutes and do a little bit of research before you go out there. And if you still feel strongly about it, hey, great, okay, go out there and protest. That's your right as an American. But just do a little research first. And some of these people obviously are not. I feel that they just want to have a cause, and so they're out there, or they were Hillary supporters, or whatever the case. Uh, I, as an American, of course, I believe in human rights and helping those in need, but I more strongly believe about our country, men and women. Let's be honest. We're here for the United States of America. China's there for China. And that's how we have to look at it. It's just a reality. I wouldn't chosen to be born here, just like they wouldn't. But the fact is, we are. That's a fact. We're here, so we got to protect what's ours. It's been that way since the beginning. So, all right. uh, I was looking earlier, and there's the site already trying to collect money from Americans, and what they're saying is help innocent families donate money now for the ones that's being held up at the airport, so we can make sure that those people are not terrorists. What's wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Making sure we know who's coming into our country. Wake up, wake up. All right, so now I asked you this. So they're asking us to donate money for countries coming in, families coming into our country. Uh, it don't make any sense. For one, what about the people here that need money, that need help? And how do we know these people aren't rich? They're on a plane from another country. They're not poor. It's just ridiculous. We have to donate money for someone we don't even know if they need it. Obviously, that's a scam. In my opinion, it's a scam. But you're going to see it all over. Just click on something on the internet and you're going to see it. And I hope you guys think in your heads like, you know, it just don't make any sense. Like any form whatsoever. You want to donate money? Why don't you go down, to your local places and donate money. Go help feed the children. Give clothes to the home. Go down to a homeless shelter and donate there. Directly instead of sending some company your money or some organization your money you have no clue about, and to somebody you don't even know if needs it. It's just perturbing on a lot of different degrees. All right, I'm going to talk about what the news don't. I'm going to show the American people, my brothers and sisters in the world, exactly how bad the hatred is right now, and why this is happening. Because the news media simply is not. So I'm going to talk about January 2016, a list of terrorist incidents that occurred, and this is mind-boggling. There was 102 incidents, 1,351 total confirmed deaths. Let that resonate for a second. That is the month of January. 102 incidents, 1,351 deaths for January of 2016. That's staggering. That's just what are we doing? But you don't hear these numbers. Of course not. You're not going to hear the media say, "Oh, this is what's going on." No, they're going to do everything in their power just to keep pushing their agenda. They want people to watch their news media outlet and say, "Oh, look, we can get ratings. Look, there's guys over here that's protesting." And instead of them saying, "Hey, I get both sides of the protest. I see why they're protesting, but here's the facts, people. If we let terrorists in our country, they're going to kill our families, right? The problem is we don't know who they are. Who are they? We have no idea, none. So until we figure that out, and until we get some basic knowledge base on these people, we can't let them in our country. It's not that hard. This is a very simple process. And then I heard on the news, well, it takes so long for people to be able to come into the country. There is a vetting process. There is a process in place for people to come over to our country legally. Okay, that's it. I mean, what's the question on? And they're like, oh, it's a human rights issue. How is it a human rights issue? It's not an issue. You got to have the proper documentation to come into this country. You got to be vetted properly. Very simple stuff. This ain't hard. Not hard at all. All right, so let's see if I can go back now. And that was just January. I want to talk a little bit. Let's see what happened in February of 2016. So in February of 2016, they had roughly, let's see, 72 total incidents, and the death rate was almost exactly the same of January. Now we're in 2 months, and we're talking about almost 3,000 people dead from terrorism. And there's no way that all these protesters know this. I mean, if they do, what are they thinking, and why aren't they thinking? And the majority of these are from those countries that we put on that list. The previous government knew, or they knew that they were bad. They're harbor terrorists. They harbor terrorists. They harbor terrorists. They have terrorists there, and they're okay with it. But you just want them to walk into the United States. Don't. That's just. It's foolish. It's stupid. I can go on for days on the thoughts of that. Do a little bit of research before you go fight for people when you don't know, right? And what if they're bad? What if they get off the plane, they go out and they kill 50 people? You're okay with that? Vice them being held at an airport for a couple hours? Come on, man. Wake up. You know, wake up. There's holds at the airport all the time. Not for this specific reason, but it happens. It's not. We're not locking them up in jail. We're simply making sure we know who comes in the country. That's my thought. And again, that's 2 months of 2016. If I had more time, I would break down the numbers for the entire year, which I'm sure is just staggering. It would probably scare me if I saw that number. So yeah, I'll be hitting you guys with a video tomorrow. Stay tuned. We'll see how this thing unfolds. So take care until next time. Peace out.